Hi, folks. Have you ever thought about bringing existing content into Power Virtual Agent, just in terms of FAQs or support materials? If the answer is yes, then you're definitely interested in Suggest Topics. So, what are Suggest Topics? So, Suggest Topics are a way to populate your chatbot with pre existing online content, such as support materials. Um, if you have them lying, in different areas on your website, you can bring them into your chatbot to answer some questions for you. So, what do you need to know about Suggest Topics before using them is the URLs would need to be secure. What we just mean by secure, it needs to be HTTPS. You can't have HTTP, and it would need to be publicly available for access. Um, Also, you won't be able to upload, let's say, a PDF file or CSV file or whatever of that sort to Power Virtual Agent. So this would need to be publicly available just in this format, as you can see here. Then there's support for PDF, Word document, PowerPoint presentation, TXT, and so on and so forth. Go on to powervirtualagent.microsoft.com. Then you can try for free if you don't have an account, or you can sign in. So there are different ways to actually find out where your suggest topics are. You can go through this button just on the home page, or you can go into topics and suggest topics from here. So from the on page, if you go into suggest topics, it will bring you up. It will bring up this pop up here, and this is where I also mentioned it has to be HTTPS. And just to find out what this might look like, I'm going to use a Skyscanner FAQ here. So you can type in Skyscanner FAQ, and this will bring you up to this page. Just make sure you're on this particular page called frequently asked questions. So you just want to grab the URL. You can tell this is HTTPS because it has this secure certificate and all of that. You can copy all of this and you go back into Power Virtual Agent and put on the URL here. So one thing to note here is I already have HTTPS at the beginning of this, so I would need to take this out. And have the www on there. So I can go on here to add this. As you can see, this has been added, and you click on start. It does take a few minutes. If you've done this correctly, you should see your suggested numbers bumped up at this point. So I have 66, and that corresponds to 66 on here. So all I need to do, go into suggested. I can see different different topics here. I can go into any of them and see the trigger phrases as well. Add to topics, or you can always add more on here as well. So you can always add this, 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 and I can add them to topics. See that the suggested is actually reducing in number and the existing is increasing in number. So you can go into the existing. So one thing to note here is just because we've moved the suggested to existing topics, it doesn't necessarily mean that the status is active. We need to activate it. So you can click on this to activate. And all things going well, you can see that this was last modified by myself. There are no errors here. So that just means that everything is good. So let's look at this one. So there's actually just one trigger phrase here. You can always add more. You can amend, add more. But what I want to try in essence is I want to try this. And all I need to do is refresh this and go hi. So what is my name? My name is Tolani. And what I want to do is ask a question. So again, I need to modify that to be much more reasonable. But at this point, I can ask a question. Let's say I want to ask, why was Skyscanner formed? And this automatically brings out, this kind of FAQ that's on here, I can always verify just to make sure it's the same by going into this message here. And this, what this does is afterwards there's an end conversation, and that's why you again this, did that answer your question? Then you can select yes or no. But this is how to add suggest topics or suggested topics. And I hope you enjoy this. I'll be sharing more and more around Power Virtual Agent, so please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you soon.